Hey, Popeye are the latest.
Greetings viewers and subscribers. In today's journey, we are still in the parish of St. Elizabeth. We are now at Luana. We are getting some fuel and then we'll be going along. We'll be passing places like Brompton and Crawford. Sit back, relax and drive with me. Now, we have been talking about the alarm system. Now, let me address something because I am reading the comments. In terms of responding to an alarm signal, there is a big difference with how it is done in Jamaica and how it is done in the United States. Well, the states that I know of. Hear me out. In some states, or in the states that I know of, it's the police that responds to the burglary signals. It is different in Jamaica. Most of the security companies that do this type of business in Jamaica, they have an armed response team. So whenever the alarm goes off and the monitoring station gets the signal, they then dispatch the armed response team to go and check. If let's say the team goes to the location and they detect a crime, like the place was broken into, etc., that is the time that the police gets involved. Sometimes depending on the signals that the monitoring station is getting. Say for example, the monitoring station gets a glass break signal and then a few seconds after they get an inside motion signal. That may be signaling that someone has broken a glass and is now in the building. So the team responding, some of the times they would go to the station if the station is nearby and ask for assistance. Because if they go there and detect a crime, the police gonna have to respond anyway. But understand that the company doing the monitoring in Jamaica, they usually have an armed response team. It's not the police that responds. It's different in the states that I know of. So I've been reading the comments and some persons were saying that the police are supposed to go there and wait 15 minutes, not in Jamaica. The security company will tell you that if they call the police to respond, it's like they are begging them a favor. Like I've been saying, if there is no official arrangement. Alright? Now, yesterday we told you about a fire and we promised to do an update to the story. It took place at Mall Road in the Anchovy Police area in the parish of St. James. It took place yesterday morning, Friday, May 6th, 2022, about 3 o'clock. Now, yesterday we had said that our information is that no foul play is suspected. But the police, they are now looking into that because we are being told that loud noise was heard coming from the one-bedroom board house. This house, it was owned and occupied by Mr. Frederick in a rarity. He was 85 years old. He was also heard bawling out for help. The house, it was then seen on fire. When the fire unit completed their cooling down operation, Mr. Frederick, his charred remains was found among the ashes. So the police, they are carrying out investigation to ascertain whether or not this fire was set by someone. Ah boy. May Mr. Frederick's soul rest in peace. And condolences to his family and his friends. So hear this now. Listen to this story. This incident, it took place yesterday afternoon. Friday, May 6th, 2022, about 1 o'clock or thereabout. It took place at a place named Dump at St. John's District in the Granville Police area in the parish of St. James. Now, here is what we are learning. Two men, they are known to each other. One of them, he's known as Roy, and the other one, he's known as Adrian. Now, it is said that they were catching water when an argument developed. This argument, we are told, was about who should be catching water first. Both of them, they started arguing with each other. It is said that Adrian, he left. But before he left, he told Roy, watch what go happen when we come back. Now, it looked like Roy, he never take Adrian serious. So he stayed there, still catching water. A few minutes later, Adrian, it is said that he returned. But when he came back, he was armed with a shotgun. It is said that he pointed it at Roy. Bam! Crank it again. Bam! Adrian, he then walked away. Roy, he was shot in both his legs. Roy, we are told, he was rushed to a nearby hospital where he was treated and admitted. Adrian, he is now a wanted man. He's wanted for illegal possession of firearm and ammunition, as also shooting and wounding with intent. Just like that. Boy, may I tell you. Now, this next incident, it took place early this morning, and we are getting just some preliminary reports. We are going to be updating it further on. So it took place early this morning, Saturday, May 7th, 2022, about 3 o'clock. It took place at a place named Belvedere District. Now, Belvedere is in the Betheltown police area in the parish of Westmoreland. Our information is that a man. Now, this man, he's in his mid-20s. It is said that he was walking along the Belvedere main road when he was pounced on by two hoodlums. These two hoodlums, they were armed with handguns. It is said that the hoodlums, they opened fire at this man. The man, he managed to run off, making good his escape from the hoodlums. He then realized that he was shot. We are told that he received gunshot wounds to the lower part of his body. He was rushed to a nearby hospital where he was treated and admitted. Like we said, we are awaiting further details so we can update this story. But in this next incident, one man is dead and two others, well, at the time we were recording this video, our information is that they are battling for life in hospital. It took place last night, Friday, May 6th, 2022, some minutes close to 7 o'clock. It took place at a place named Pit 4. Now, Pit 4 is in the Granville police area in the parish of St. James. Now, here is what we are learning. That man that you are seeing on your screen, his name is Dominic Haye. He was popularly known as FOOTA. He was 29 years old and he lived at Shalman in Pit 4. Now, we are learning that FOOTA, he was standing along the roadway in Pit 4, right in front of a shop, when about 2 or 3 hoodlums came out of some bushes. It is said that these hoodlums, they pounced on FOOTA. These hoodlums, they were armed with M16 rifles. It is said that they opened gunfire at FOOTA, hitting him in his head. It is suspected that FOOTA, he died on the spot. The hoodlums, they then ran back into the bushes. But guess what? Them never done. You know that normally, when these things happen, the hoodlums would try and escape from the area as quickly as possible. These hoodlums, they didn't. They stick around in the bushes. So here is what happened next. Now, 2 men who lived nearby, they heard the gunshots. So when they thought it was safe to go and check, they came out of their houses and they went to look at FOOTA. They saw that FOOTA, he was motionless. So these 2 men, they were now returning to their homes when they were ambushed by the same hoodlums who had just taken the life of FOOTA. The hoodlums, they opened gunfire on the 2 men, hitting both of them. The hoodlums, they then made good their escape. Now, one of the men who was hit, he's in his early 30s and he's a mechanic. He received gunshot wounds to his neck. The other man who was hit, he's in his mid-30s and he's said to be a chef. He received gunshot wounds to his head. All 3 persons, they were transported to a nearby hospital where FOOTA, he was pronounced DEAD, whilst the other 2 men, they were admitted in a serious condition. The mayhem. May I tell you about the mayhem? So let me ask you something. Let me ask you something. Okay, so I don't have to remind you today. Alright, cool. Now, we are now over 90,000 subscribers. And like we promised, we will be giving away some money when we reach 100,000 subscribers. So, keep on telling a friend to tell a friend to subscribe to the channel. Now, in the final story for today. Now, if you look on your screen, that was the thumbnail for a story that we carried on Wednesday, April 13th, 2022. We told you that that man that you are seeing on your screen, his name is Marcus Scott, and he was missing. Now, Marcus Scott, he's originally from Flanker, but at the time he went missing, he was living at Dumfries in the parish of St. James. We also told you that a motor car that Marcus was last seen driving, it was found in the Withorn police area in the parish of Westmoreland. And our information is that hoodlums had started to scrap it. Now, let's go back a little bit. We carried a story on Monday, April 4th, 2022. We told you that an incident took place early that same morning, about 2 o'clock. It took place at Dean's Lane in Montego Bay in the parish of St. James. Our information is that residents of the area, they reportedly heard a single loud explosion sounding like gunshot. As a result, the police were called. When the police went to the scene, they saw a man with a single gunshot wound to his head. He was seen lying on the ground in a pool of his own blood. He appeared to have died on the spot. Now, when this crime scene was processed, one 9mm spent shell was recovered from the scene. No ID was found on this man, and the residents of the area, they did not know who he was. This man, he remained unidentified up to yesterday, Friday, May 6th, 2022. Now, if you look on your screen, that was published in the Western Mirror. I'm going to have to cover a portion of the person's face because I don't want to breach YouTube's policy. But the article says, the police are seeking the public's help in identifying this man. He was killed on Dean's Lane in Montego Bay on Monday, April 4th, 2022, sometime after 2 a.m. If anyone knows who he is, please contact the Freeport Police Station or any other. Now, relatives and friends of Marcus, they saw the article and they realized that the person was Marcus Scott. So they contacted the Freeport Police Station, and subsequently, Marcus Scott, he was positively identified at the De La Pena Funeral Home in Montego Bay. Now hear this. Marcus Scott, he is the son of former Montego Bay Mayor, Mr. Shalman Scott. Mr. Shalman Scott, he himself was also shot on the early morning of Thursday, July 3, 2008, about 7 o'clock in the early morning. Former Mayor Scott, he was reportedly out jogging at Coral Gardens in Montego Bay when a car drove up. It is said that hoodlums in the car, they opened gunfire on Mr. Scott, hitting him several times. Luckily, former Mayor Scott, he survived that attack. So, the father, Mr. Scott, he was shot several times and he managed to survive. His son, Marcus, he was shot once and he didn't make it. Sad indeed. Condolences to the family and friends of Marcus Scott. The mayhem continues. Blessed love, everybody.
Tell a friend for tell a friend for tell a friend about Popeye NewzLynx and PNL Blog TV. Like, subscribe and share. Quicksilver sing, if we just unite, what a country this will be. If we just unite, Jamaica live in unity. If we just unite, what a country this will be. If we just unite, Jamaica live in unity. Hey, crime it a mash up Jamaica. Criminals them a mash up Jamaica. Jamaicans mash up Jamaica. Oh Jamaica, me sweet Jamaica. Crime it a mash up Jamaica. Criminals them a mash up Jamaica. Jamaicans mash up Jamaica. Oh Jamaica, me sweet Jamaica. I coulda sunshine or rain. Jamaica, no problem, no pain. Rude boy them no out can't tame, but me want me country back. Give me country back. To the street and the lane, everybody them start complaining. Bloodshed, what a shame, but me want me country back. Give me country back. Crime it a mash up Jamaica. Criminals them a mash up Jamaica. Jamaicans mash up Jamaica. Oh Jamaica, me sweet Jamaica. Crime it a mash up Jamaica. Criminals them a mash up Jamaica. Jamaicans mash Jamaica the land of the sun. Jamaica become now the land of the gun. East and north and south when we turn. Country and town, man a pay blood a run. Murder, don't you baby me hear them a murder. Cut it out, tell them no gonna further. Man a dead like cans and bird, yeah. Who no listen them a word, yeah. Crime it a mash up Jamaica. Criminals them a